All right, Impressions Expo Atlantic City is right around the corner. We're excited to get out to the show March 21st through the 23rd, and we've got a great conference lined up for you, including a session on perspective marketing with Jon Ladd. So we've got Jon here to talk a little bit more about that. Jon, are you excited to get out to Atlantic City?
Yeah, I'm super excited. Love Atlantic City and love working with Impressions Expos, and just love being with the people, so I'm really excited about it, for sure.
Yes, we feel you on that. Now, Jon, I do see that we have got a special guest joining us for this interview. Who's that there next to you?
This is my little puppy. Her name, well, she's not really a puppy. She just turned 4, but this is Sagan. I got her right around the old COVID time, and since we were home, she really bonded with me while I was working from home, so she doesn't leave my side. So it's the first time I've ever had a dog like cling to me growing up. You know, they always loved my mom and sit in my mom's lap, and now this one won't leave my side, and I love her to death. She's great.
Welcome to the interview. So I'm glad to have you both here, and we can talk a little bit about the perspective marketing session that you've got going on. So tell us what attendees can expect from that.
Yeah, definitely. I really love having conversations about, you know, understanding people and understanding what really drives, you know, their decisions in purchasing and whatnot. And then you find out a lot of people like to work with other people they like. So it's about identifying that within, you know, your sales, or as you're doing your sales, and connecting with those people and really making that relationship. And you find out you can actually make those relationships very quickly by being very customer centric. And so what happens is we really have a discussion about utilizing the friendship and relationships you make with your customers to amplify your brand by getting those customers to advocate for you. Basically, you make it so they have this need or this want to share your brand as a solution for other people. It's kind of similar to like whenever maybe you need the brakes done in your car and one of your friends say, oh, you've got to go see my person that does my brakes. They have this need to like help, you know? So it's like, how do you get your customers to really enjoy that relationship, and not just enjoy the product they get, but enjoy the relationship they're having with the company and the brand and connection, and then turn and be a solution for other people, which in turn brings referrals in. So it's really more about the deeper dive into referrals. And most people don't really focus on that, I found out. Most companies, they just assume it's going to happen. And my idea is to come into it with a plan, and an actionable plan that's very, sometimes easy to implement in some ways. And other times it just takes more effort. So it's about choosing to put resources or time or just spend money spent on the back end of that relationship versus always trying to find new leads all the time.
Exactly. That's such a good point about, you know, not just asking people to refer you, but also that they're helping their friend out. So that's a totally different approach and a great way to look at it. You know, I know that you gave this session at the Long Beach Impressions Expo, and you know, one of the things that so many speakers say is that they love the Q&A after their session is over. You know, some of them even leave a little extra room for that because some of those questions are great. So what were some of the questions that you heard from attendees at the last show after your session? You know, maybe some of those things they stuck around and asked you after your talk.
Sure, yeah. And like you're saying, not only stuck around after, because it's really interesting. I actually, like you said, plan for the Q&A to happen, because people basically take the root ideas and start applying it to their own situations. Then they start raising their hand and asking questions. But we've had so much fun to the point where it's actually led out into the hallways after the session. I'm sitting around talking with people for a while, and I really enjoy that part because, again, I personally enjoy connecting with people, and I think that's very important for people to remember. So a lot of the questions I get are, how do I connect just with people? Because a lot of times they're thinking very shop centric. So what we do is we kind of break it down about how do we be customer centric in that thought. And it really, a lot of people ask about how do they keep it organized? You know, what kind of systems do we use to make sure it's done? Some of it is automation. So we have questions about that, about how do I automate that process a little bit, and really where to put the human touch. So the automation is really just doing what I would naturally do at scale that I couldn't do. I could do more in a day if I had the time. So we basically talk about how do you automate some of these processes. But a lot of it has to do with a core, I would say, belief system in the process. Because a lot of times you have to believe that people do want to be a help to the people they know. You have to believe that, and I generally enjoy people, like I said. And so I'm basically just putting that into that part of my personality into our marketing. And it helps with the hiring process. So when we hire our employees to help us do that, so people ask, well, how do I find someone to help me implement these things? Because not every business owner can do it all themselves all the time, especially when it works. You start to grow, and then you want to be able to have like a train of thought or process that I could teach other members of my team, to train them to not just be salespeople, but to actually teach them to be fostering relationships that almost never revolves around, hey, do you need another t-shirt order? So a lot of people ask questions like, how do I get these people to do another t-shirt order? And it's a weird, I don't want to say paradoxical kind of thing, but it's like, well, quit trying to sell t-shirt orders in the back end and you'll get more t-shirt orders. And it's just, it's a weird way of thinking for a lot of people because they're thinking very logical about it. So you've got to go with it at this belief and relationship and connection that turns into sales. You just have to believe that's the end result. It is really great because people will ask really in-depth questions, but they have this top level answer to it, or a root answer to it that can be applicable to many different businesses. Because you have to remember, we're going to have embroidery people, we're going to have screen printing people, and all different walks in life. And some of these concepts can really transcend into other sides of business too. So it's a pretty common conversation I like to have with people, because I've been able to help even some of my friends' companies that do, maybe they are a mechanic, like we said, or maybe they're into development or having a marketing firm. So it's a good practical thing you can use in all aspects of your business, no matter what side of the industry you're in.
Absolutely. And you talk about not having enough time as business owners, but I can't think of better ways to spend your time than growing relationships. With probably more fun than working on the books and that side of things. So it sounds like you've got some great ways to look at that, and you're going to have some real world examples to share with attendees. So I'm going to let you get back to it and just remind people about the upcoming conference. Your session is going to be on Thursday, the 21st, there in Atlantic City, and we've got a whole conference agenda. So Jon, thank you so much for joining me, and I want to say thank you to everybody for watching and hearing a little bit more. We hope to see you at Impressions Expo, and hopefully you'll see Jon and maybe Siegel too in the upcoming session.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me do the interview with you today, and I'm excited to see people, and everyone feel free to come up to talk to me anytime. Even I'll be there all week, so we can talk outside of the session as well. I'd really love to meet some new people and hang out and have some fun.
All right, we'll see you in Atlantic City. Thanks, Jon. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.